you start with your name and your pronouns?
Hi, my name's Jacob. My pronouns are he, him.
Thank you. So first off, what is your experience with photography, filmmaking, or anything in that aspect?
Well, I have a resume here with some qualifications, but as for photography, filmmaking, visual media, I'd say I have a pretty strong background. Before I came to UCSD, I did a lot of it for high school. I took classes, and now that I'm here, I've been taking visual arts classes, and I have been participating in PCC as a camera operator, and I've also taken on a couple of other jobs in this place.
Nice. Is it okay if I show this to the camera real quick? Just really quick. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So second question, what pillar of KP do you feel this position falls under and why?
I think this goes under the cultural pillar because, well, I think it goes for all of them, but especially the cultural pillar because I think that representation in media about our culture, our group, it matters. I think that being Ourstorian, it's our responsibility to convey to future members and also people who aren't involved in our space who we are and what we represent culturally. And I think that being Resurrecion is a good opportunity for that.
Nice. So what is your understanding of KP's R story, and how will you seek to find more information about R story?
So I know that Ourstorian's job is to keep an archive of photos, videos, and documents of KP events, what we do, and what I want to do is I'd like to expand KP's presence of visual media. I think that a lot of information that we consume in the modern world is visual. I think that having an accessible and shareable record of KP, like what we represent, for incoming members, for people outside the space, is something that I really like to be a part of. For me, in my experience, coming into the space, not knowing much about it, I know that I would have liked to see visually more of what I might expect coming into KP, like fall quarter as a first year, because I knew that I wanted to be involved. I knew that I wanted to join a Filipino affinity organization before I came to UCSD, and finding KP, I wish that I had more visual information, and I want to be that for the people next year and in the future.
Nice. Okay. Fourth question. As Ourstorian, you will be working closely with the MCM to manage and maintain social media. How do you plan on effectively communicating with them in order to maintain this media?
I think that I think that I would do good at helping to conceptualize creative ideas with the MCM. I want to be a person who is available in the space to the MCM and to anybody who needs help with creative projects. Somebody that people can go to who they know has the technical skills to make any creative or visual project that they have in mind happen. I want to be available and offer my skills to anybody who needs it.
Okay. And last required question, Many other organizations' equivalent of Ourstorian is often referred to as historian. Why do you think KP has decided to title this position Ourstorian as opposed to historian?
Well, I think it ties into our guideline of all-inclusive language because historian does have like a very masculine lean to it, like his story. I think our historian, it's more inclusive, and I like that it's called our historian because it's inclusive.
So we still have some time. Are you open to answering additional questions?
Yes.
So next year, since it's not a 5th anniversary for KP, you wouldn't have any major events to plan. What are some ideas or programs you might have in mind so that your position goes beyond taking and posting pictures?
Well, like I said, I envision kind of expanding KP's visual media presence. Like earlier in the year, I had time conflicts in my schedule, so I wouldn't be able to attend that many GBMs, and I would always try and like find out what had happened at the GBM. I'd ask friends or I'd like go through Instagram, and I think that's something I would like to implement is like maybe like visual video summaries of like what happens at events for people who can't attend them. And also, I just want to be a resource to anyone in KP who maybe they have an idea for like an educational video or some kind of visually media oriented post or material, and I'd just like to be a person who can assist in that in any way that I can.
Cool. Yes. I think that might be all the questions we have. Yeah, I think those are all the questions we have today. Do you have any questions for us?
I have a question that I would have liked to ask the current Ourstorian, but I can ask it to you. Like, how do you feel that you working as board members in KP has helped you develop skills that are applicable to your career life and your personal life?
Well, I actually was Ourstorian my first year and for PCC, so in that aspect, I did it because I enjoyed it, but I think it really just helped me see which aspects of I guess it helped me realize like what I really liked about KP, and that was like the connection of all of it, because I continued like capturing all those memories even when I wasn't Ourstorian anymore. In my position last year, I would still carry my camera everywhere, and it was just like such a treasure for me to be able to like look back on that, and I think personally it just kind of gave me a creative outlet and has helped me realize like I do need to have that like visual and like personal aspect, in addition to like all of the work that I do. For my other positions that aren't Ourstorian, I think depending on like what you end up doing with your position, because it really is like what you make of it, I think it really helped me kind of like go out of my comfort zone more, I know my first year I mostly only like did vid prod in Ourstorian and I was more behind the scenes, but just getting that exposure not just to the events but to the people really pushed me to be more social than I previously was, and I think by going out of my comfort zone in KP and going for positions that were more ambitious than I was expecting to come into, it really pushed me to become better at, I mean, socializing, I guess, but just being a better public speaker, better at connecting with others, and from an Ourstorian perspective, and also just as a product of the cultural pillar, I think one of the biggest takeaways I've seen is being able to look at so many different perspectives, both like literally, but also like mentally and emotionally. Yeah. Anyone else have any other questions?
Not for me.
Okay, awesome. Then we will conclude your interview.